But even if the caller does hold the answer to the Shergar mystery, tonight there's still no sign that the shareholders are willing to pay up. Jeremy Thompson, News at 10, County Down, Northern Ireland.
The Irish bloodstock industry brings in Ireland more than £120 million a year, and this revenue could be affected if people think twice about stabling their horses there, as Ray Maloney reports.
The seizure of a horse such as Shergar could have repercussions far beyond one single stud. It could have a shattering effect on the whole Irish economy, where the bloodstock industry is one of the most important.
Also at the ambassador's residence, that's our coverage, ITN ENG, which the BBC have a right to pick up. Obviously the best story of the day has got to be Shergar.
Right.
I mean, probably everyone's aware of it. I mean, Shergar was, who's owned by the Aga Khan, was stolen sometime during the night by two armed raiders who burst into the Aga Khan's stud in County Kildare in Ireland. And said they wanted £2 million, or presumably they'll do the worst to the horse. As soon as they get the tannoy, will Mr. Derek Thompson please go to the nearest phone box? Thompson goes to the phone box. Derek Thompson here. Look, it's Arkle speaking, mate. I suggest you get yourself out to the Maxwell farm. You can do yourself a bit of good over Shergar. Puts the phone down, rings up Maxwell. It's the police speaking at Maxwell's place saying, yes, Lord Oakes has got the same call. We're here. Don't move. Go to your room. We'll contact you. Something's happening.
Good
stuff. That's all to ourselves.
Good stuff. Well played.
So,
what does it mean, what I'm doing is I'm simply jacking up, just to have it in-house, a piece with a vet called Stockman, who is a very, very experienced racehorse vet, who's going to tell us in graphic detail what stallions do and don't do when they get flighty and so on, how dangerous it is. Otherwise, he's going to do what Bruff was going to do, tell us why it's got to be done quickly. And the rest of those little odds and ends we were going to mop up, we'll mop up on copy lines.
Have you ever seen the line that a horse box has been found in South Armagh?
That was what we had this morning.
No, it's just
it's just flashed about half an hour ago.
I don't know where in South Armagh, and I don't know whether a horse is in it.
Well, I mean, it is said, the police are saying it is Shergar's horse box.
Yes, yes. Can you get on a 4:30 flight to Belfast?
You get a car?
I'm getting a car now. Can you get on the 4:30 shuttle?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. I do.
I know indeed. We will fill you in, don't worry. Thanks, Ray. Bye. Dave, what time can you leave?
5:30.
5:30 flight.
So you'll be there 7 o'clock in RTE?
Yeah, 7 o'clock at RTE.
Yeah. What's happening?
Can you go there and act as fixer?
Yes. What's the state of play?
I mean, nothing has changed. Jeremy's still in the hotel with the crew, waiting. But I mean, you know, there's a thing in South Armagh. I don't know what UTV are doing. Needs somebody pushing and pulling.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Right, so nothing else has happened.
What, the car?
Yes. Let me talk to you about it.
6:30.
Well, I'll go for the 4:30. I'll just wait.
Look, is it definitely? I would like to have our bodies in a sewer.
You tell me. All right. Tell me, Ben.
Right.
Sorry.
A Dynarod bloke was called to the house. Dynarod bloke was called to the house because the drains were blocked.
Yeah.
He got there, stuck his pipes down, and out came 3 bodies.
Dave says, in all honesty, much like I'd like to help you, I can't tell you that this stallion will be dangerous, because you wouldn't. He said he will be frisky, but he said, from what I've heard of the story, these are people who've snatched it at the right time. They know what the situation is with how to handle animals and horses. Once the bit is in his mouth, particularly a stallion like Shergar, should be no problem for anybody, even with a rudimentary knowledge of horses to handle.
Waiting. We're trying to get a guy on the shuttle in a hurry.
And I've got about 8 quid.
The thing is, whatever we do with Jeremy, you stay as a point of contact.
Absolutely. I mean, if we fly Jeremy around, at least I'm happy. Yeah. What have we got at UTV in terms of facilities?
Well, still on film, unfortunately. I mean, there is ENG around, but no, we'll have editing. I mean, editing.
Well, I'm not going to be able to do anything for the early by the time I get there.
It's not a bad story.
Eh?
No,
good
story.
tale.
Yeah.
Good tale. I have a nose about this one too. Don't you? I have a funny feeling about this. All right. Well, I mean, I'll obviously work just for 10 because I won't be there in time for 5:45. If I miss this one, it's 6:30, and I'm not there by 8 till 8. But you know, I'll do what I can. Okay. Could you get onto the office and ask your office to ask mine if they've got any special arrangements to hustle us through at Heathrow?
Mervyn Hall is asking whether you could contact his office to see whether any special arrangements have been made to get him and his 2 colleagues through at Heathrow.
point is that it's almost certain that they won't pay, you see.
No, I realise that. I realise that.
I'm just wondering whether we should say that.
And he's asked Peter Camping, John Oaksey and myself, the 3 journalists that he asked to come over from London, to ring round the 34 members of the syndicate now to find out if they're prepared to pay this £40,000.
All they can do was wait anxiously for further instructions, still not knowing if the whole thing was posed. At mid-evening came phone call number 4 and a fresh demand.
Up Tomo. And he then ends on saying if they pay the, if they pay the 40,000, then further information follows. You could actually pick it up by saying, but the chances still remain negligible that any money will be risked, that any money will be paid for the return of Shergar, if indeed the Maxwell's mysterious caller is who he claims. Do you want exteriors for the end of this, JT?
Yeah.
Right. Then you just let them run, Jim. Because actually Jeremy's pointing out that the last call that came through, nobody else knows about, and really ought to probably be our hard top lead-in to the story. Well, the last call is the one demanding £40,000 and the authority from each one of the shareholders to pay the £1,000. In other words, the journos now have to hit the phones in order to get that £1,000 assurance from each of the shareholders.
The caller has said
Hang on.
that unless it's announced on the news, on television news, that those 3 journalists have the authority to negotiate about money on behalf of the Aga Khan and the other shareholders, there's no deal and he won't contact me again.
And also, JT is saying that unless this guy hears the assurance that that's been done publicly, he won't contact them again. My own view on that is I think we ought to steer clear of that.
Oh, yeah, Christ. I mean, no, I don't. That's the last thing I want is a bloody appeal. Yeah. Okay, I mean, well, the latest demand by people claiming to be the kidnappers from Shergar is that they want a £40,000 ransom paid before the horse will be safely returned.
All right, mate. Yeah, we're just about to dub. About to dub. We'll be ready to probably feed in about 5 or 6 minutes. All right. All right. Ta-da.
None of the 3 journalists knew why they'd been chosen, or even if their summons to act as go-betweens was genuine. They'd had no official backing from Shergar's syndicate.
The hunt for the kidnapped Derby winner Shergar has moved across the Irish border to Northern Ireland. A ransom of £40,000 has been asked for, not the $2 million first reported. The Sporting Life, the main racing paper, is offering in tomorrow's edition a reward of £10,000 for the safe return of the horse. From Northern Ireland, Jeremy Thompson now reports.
None of the 3 journalists knew why they'd been chosen, or even if their summons to act as go-betweens was genuine. They'd had no official backing from Shergar's syndicate. But within hours, Oaksey, Campling and Thompson were heading for Belfast, believing that their mysterious mission offered the best hope so far of retrieving the missing racehorse.
The Irish bloodstock.
Splendid. Well played. Ace piece there.
I'd like to see the
Yes,
see what the BBC did do. I mean,
There might be something missing from that, but I can't think what it was.
No. Lynn, it's Mervyn. Good evening. Hello, my dear. No bad. I'm in Belfast. Listen, I just rang you because JT hasn't had a chance to call you tonight, and we've whisked him off back to the Maxwell's house from Belfast, just as soon as we got the news at 10 package in. So I thought I'd just give you a ring to say you won't hear from him tonight. And tomorrow he's going to be with the Maxwells most of the day, and that I think will make calling you a bit difficult.
You're listening to First Edition with Ivan Martin and Richard Young this Friday morning. It's the 11th of February. Richard has the headlines.
London police are to start an inch-by-inch search of a North London house and garden this morning for 13 bodies they believe are hidden there. The kidnap demand for the release of superhorse Shergar has dropped from £2 million to 40,000. The spotlight in the drama stays centred on Downpatrick, where the Maxwell family wait for the phone call which could launch the final chapter in the saga.
Well, Judy, what do you make of that last call?
I really don't know. He says the horse is dead, that they've had an accident. I don't know what to make of the calls now.
You any the wiser?
Really none the wiser. He wouldn't tell me how it happened or where we can find the body. He just rang off.
I just hope that he's been a hoaxer all along and that he hasn't had the horse. The horse maybe is still alive with someone else.
Right, stay exactly well. Can I just have a quick three shot?
Yeah.
Okay, can you power me, Bernie? My battery's gone down on here. Okay, Jeremy, just chat away. If you could just look at Jeremy and don't talk. Just okay. Camera's rolling.
Okay. It's just a sort of wider shot, so if I need to sort of just a slightly different angle for everything. Okay. All right. Thanks. Lovely. Thanks a lot.
Can you change this battery, please, Bernie?
Shergar. Everybody's trying to check out whether Shergar has been killed or not, and if so, how, and nobody can stand it up one way or another as yet. We were at the all-night vigil at the Maxwells, and while hordes of press, including the BBC, were outside, we were inside filming the calls coming in, and we've got the call that is alleged to say that Shergar is alleged to be dead. Thompson will be wrapping that for all bulletins and obviously following the rest of the story for the rest of the day.
As far as the Maxwells are concerned, this part of the Shergar saga now seems to be over. But I understand that a second and totally separate caller using a different code name has been in direct touch with the Ballymoney stable over the border in Southern Ireland, demanding a £2 million ransom. Whether one or both of the callers are hoaxers isn't clear, yet either way there's still no sign of whether Shergar is alive or dead.
Okay, lovely. Over here by this horse, it's letting me say. You know what's going to happen here, don't you?
You will.
How much you get us bite you?
Don't you think we're setting it up a bit? Hang on, give it a sec. As far as the Maxwells are concerned, their part of the Shergar saga seems to be over. But I now understand that a second and totally different caller, totally separate caller using a different code name has been in direct touch with the Ballymoney stable demanding a £2 million ransom. Whether one or both of the callers is a hoaxer isn't clear. But either way, there's still no evidence of whether Shergar is alive or dead. Jeremy Thompson, News at 1. County Down in Northern Ireland.
Right. Just come over camera right. That's it. Lovely. Level, Jeremy?
Yes. Whether one or both of these callers are hoaxers still isn't clear.
Okay, ready? Camera is running.
As far as the Maxwells are concerned, it appears that they're part of the Shergar story.
It's the loneliest place in Ireland right now, the stable block where, until Tuesday night, the wonder horse Shergar lived in comfort and care. Today, amid reports of phone calls saying Shergar is dead, there's a sense of fear in the Ballymoney stables from which he was seized. Shergar's private pasture is green and empty.
Irish police hunting for the kidnapped Derby winner Shergar say all the telephone calls to Northern Ireland about the horse have been from hoaxers. That includes a claim at breakfast time today that Shergar was dead. This call, like most of the others, went to the Downpatrick home of the trainer Jeremy Maxwell and his wife. £2 million was the original sum mentioned after Shergar was seized from his Newbridge stud on Tuesday. And then we'll add something after that, will we?
Yes, 30 seconds for transmission. EJ1, EJ2, VT1, 25 seconds for transmission. VT3 and EJ3. 20 seconds. And camera 3 on your 4.9%.
How's that? Oh, much further down. You're terribly high. That's great. That's lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, very good.
It's your fibro. 1, VT4 roll. EJ1 roll. EJ2 roll. VT1 roll.
It's the loneliest place in Ireland right now, a stable block where, until Tuesday night, the wonder horse Shergar lived in comfort and care. Today, amid reports of phone calls saying Shergar is dead, there's a sense of fear in the Ballymanny stables from which he was seized. Shergar's private paddock lies green but empty. His stable is still sealed off by the police, but across the way, his fellow stallion, Mishapur, is clearly disturbed by the sudden rush of activity in the stables.
What are you doing at a press conference today? Yes, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
Were you there yesterday?
It's ridiculous.
I don't know,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, it is, I mean, you
That
can't...
police station wasn't built for it.
Yeah, you can't...
And the usual thing
happens too, you get a good strain of question going. And nobody will wait for the answer.
That's right.
Don't lift that. Well, I really lift it now.
Well, we've got short bulletins today. Yeah. So it cuts us back murderously on the move.
Yeah. With us, it's just the opposite. On a weekend, you know, with 24 hours to fill.
Yeah, quite. You need it.
They'll take anything. I'm glad to have it.
Gentlemen, I can't waste too long with you this morning.
Waste? Waste?
Yeah. What have you?
Good news for us?
No good news.
Any news?
No news.
Any development?
Mr. Murphy,
no developments whatsoever.
Could I put 3 questions to you?
Yes.
Since the original phone demand for a 2 million ransom to the stud up the road,
yes,
how many other communications in connection with that demand have been made either to the stud or to people working for the stud?
There were 2, I think 2 altogether made there, and that was all. The other, it then changed to the scene at the north, where there were a number of demands made at the Maxwell home, resulting in the horse reportedly being destroyed.
Are you aware that people...
And now that there is no further information about it, I am slightly concerned for the simple reason that a stallion cannot be kept by people who are not well up in the horsey field and who do not know how to keep the animal.
Do you have any leads at the moment?
I have no leads. What I do say is that it is impossible for the owners to negotiate a deal in view of the information which has been circulated, that the animal is dead and that his dead body is to be found in a field in County Wexford. Now, it would take weeks to find, except the farmers there cooperate fully and examine every field, but for the Garda force to examine every field in County Wexford, it would be practically impossible to do that.
Will you see us again this afternoon, Mr. Murphy?
I possibly will.
What time would that possibly be?
I don't know what time it will be.
Approximately, just so that we've got
because I must deal with my own stuff, and I must get some rest.
Well, an approximate time so that we can aim to sort of be here round about then.
Say around about 4 o'clock.
Fine. Thank you very much.
Mr. Murphy, could you clear up one final area of confusion?
I mean, if there is this massive, the biggest ever search going on in Ireland, where is it happening?
It's words.
Yeah, but where is it happening? I mean,
I'm telling you, it's words for Fleet Street. Well, I mean, you saw him doing it. I mean, it isn't. What is happening is that they're getting a message from London saying it's in a broken down abbey in Kilmarnock. They've gone to Kilmarnock and looked. But in terms of what you've got in your mind of the kind of thing that Scotland Yard does, setting up troops and soldiers in a long line and going, that isn't going on at all.
Well, I mean, we said it is. House-to-house searches, this sort of stuff.
Said it here. Have you seen any going on?
That's what I'm asking. Where is it happening?
No, but I tell you, he's giving that for Fleet Street. I mean, we've been watching him now since Wednesday.
I think it's worth asking him if it is happening.
Okay, you go and ask him.
I'm
going to
the question.
right.
I'm stud, are we?
What? We're going up the stud because I've got to get to camera.
No, not get on there now. No, just
yes, let me give you a chance to write. Okay. I'll just go and sit in the car and write.
I'll see you down at the stud, Tom.
Can we see if we can get some shots of it? Can we see if we can get some shots of them searching or something?
Yeah, I mean,
they won't search that way.
But I mean, Tom,
there must be some.
What's he going to have today? He's going to have another bloody talking head.
Yeah, but
and another piece of camera.
But the police don't search that way. They'll just appeal to the farmers who will all go out and check the fields and the farms and that.
You may well be right. I just think it's worth.
Yeah, it's like the local village policeman. He knows
everybody. Need some visuals, don't we? Sometimes.
Well, that's right. Yeah. I'll find out if there's anything worth filming.
All right. Rolling.
4.5 days after the seizure of Shergar, and more than 24 hours since the last alleged contact with his kidnappers, the first hints of pessimism are beginning to appear in police statements today. All right? Okay, that's it. Where's Dave? Okay.
Yeah.
You heard that.
Yeah.
So you go straight into that statement of his. Now, I think that's probably all they want. With sport and everything, they'll have this for the lunchbox, and we'll come back and do a reasonable package for the later.
Look, Murphy has agreed that we can go out with a team of detectives led by Mark Carroll.
Good. Okay.
Now, Detective Mark Carroll doesn't know this yet because he's in a conference.
As I say, my name's Ray Maloney.
Dermot Carver.
ITN. Good to meet you.
Mark Carver.
Hi. Look, we didn't realise what happened. We came out of the hotel thinking we'd thrown a sort of sufficient smoke screen to throw most everybody else off.
Yes.
But when a camera team gets up and moves from a hotel, there's always some suspicious bastard who follows him.
Yeah.
So there are a couple outside of Stills boys, I think.
Yes.
If we can get rid of them,
yes.
I don't know how we're going to do it.
Well, my car now, I'll be driving a beige-coloured Opel Kadett.
All we want is just a little bit of you talking to people, looking at places.
Well, I'll go now to an occupied small-time trailer yard, and I'll be going to a big establishment that's in the process of changing hands, which could be fruitful.
Right.
Very good, man.
So where to now? Is that the end of this particular? You said you were looking at 2 stables.
Today, yes.
Yes, today.
Well, I'll be looking at more later on.
More later on. You're going back to the station now,
Come back now to the controls. Yes.
I see. Look, thanks very much indeed. That's exactly what we needed, because all we've got at the moment are the front door of the Ballymanny stud. So thank heaven at last we've got some pictures that move.
Thanks again.
Take care, and thanks for your help, huh?
Thanks very much.
Okay, well, we'll wait now, and he'll lead us back to the road, because I don't know how they get back there from here. What did we... Must be, what, about 8 minutes in total there?
I'll have a look for you. Yeah, 7.
7. Ample. Short bulletins can't go wrong. Right. Can I have my newspaper back?
That's only 25 to 1. 3 in the afternoon. Bit of lunch coming on. I'd like some of that Irish stew again. I'm a pheasant at heart, Ray, don't worry.
Shergar's now been missing for 40 days. Today, as on the day he was snatched, there's an abundance of theories and a grave shortage of hard facts. But among a fraternity that spends its life hoping for the long shot to come up trumps, the whole of racing is still waiting for that one breakthrough, which will mean that Shergar the Wonder Horse is alive and well and living at Ballymanny.
Next tonight we have An Appointment with Fear.